Storm of the Century by Kid Behind a Dildo, Mordecai the Awesome Blue Jay, and Rabbi Bundy. It was a musty and stormy day in Somerville. Grandpa had just gotten the news. He has throat cancer. He decides he needs to do all the banging and coming he can, before he die a horrible and painful death. He calls up Pickleboy, who is still heartbroken over the death of John. Grandpa tells Pickleboy about his throat tumor. Pickleboy is devastated but soon learns that Grandpa is ready for a massive orgy. Pickleboy grabs every diseased Japanese sex toy he owns, and grabs all of the disgusting fat animals and heads over. As they got there, Grandpa already masturbated all over the trailer. However, he is still horny as fuck. Porky Boy and Pidgeot took their clothes off and began fucking each other. Then Clyde saw the shaking of Bridget's steamy hot ass, and shoved his 300-mile-long cock into Bridget's tight ass. She moaned with pleasure. Pickleboy then gets jealous and attacks Clyde, and challenges him to a cock fight. As they fight for her ugly ass, Grandpa then started to lose it. He jerked off his cock so fast that it bursts into flames. Flames and semen shoot into Pickleboy's asshole. He screams in agony. Porky Pig Boy runs around the trailer screaming like the pussy he is. Bridget rubs her clit until she squirts pussy water into his asshole and the fire was gone. Porky Boy was happy and then he shoves his cock down her asshole. After 666 minutes of fucking, Pickledung takes out his rock-hard cock to reveal 5 inches of shit on his cock. He forces Bridget to eat it off his cock. While Bridget is eating the shit off of his cock, she accidentally bites off his cock. Porky Boy screams in pain. Grandpa was fucking one of the dogs until he hears him scream like a bitch. Grandpa walks over to Porky Pig Boy and shoves his nasty old cock full of dog shit into his mouth. Pickledung sucks the shit off Grandpa's dick and bites it off. Grandpa screams as mountains of blood gush out of where his cock used to be. Pickleboy then puts Grandpa's cock in a hot dog and eats it. Later that night, Pickleboy is flipping through a newspaper while enjoying his tasty cock meat dog that is topped with horseradish. Pickleboy notices an article titled Museum Fun. Pickleboy learns about a museum near him that is displaying a rare ancient spell tome created by the Egyptians in approximately 3000 BC. Pickleboy gets a fantastic idea. He plans to steal the artifact and use its magical powers to heal his fellow fooksters. Pickleboy decides he needs to start planning. He contacts his best friend, who is a black market dealer from Yemen. Pickleboy purchases a shipment of military-grade assault rifles. He calls up some buddies for help. Only 2 of his buddies agree to help. Pickleboy's plan is really elaborate and tidy. The 2 buddies are Christian and Ted Bundy's reanimated corpse. Ted is only down because he wants to kill. Christian doesn't fully understand the law or have any morals, because he's autistic. Pickleboy is just wanting to save his buds so he can continue fucking real hardcore and messy like. The boys hop in the back of a black derelict van. The driver is some random homeless vet, who wanted to make some quick bucks. They don't plan to pay him anything. In fact, if they retrieve the book, he'll be sucked into a portal that will send him into an outerworld area, where there are 2 moons, that are blood red and polluted deltas. Also, there are mutated lizards, that are looking to satiate their bloodlust. The ignorant driver didn't even read the notes he was given, and he drove right into the lobby of the museum like a dipshit. The boys are greeted by around 10 guards. Backup is on the way. Ted and Chris fend them off, as Pickleboy makes his way to the spell tome. Some people call it the Necronomicon. Pickleboy busts open the display glass, and triggers an alarm, which sends a SWAT team to wipe the trouble-making goofballs out. Pickleboy dulls his penguin ass back to the lobby and check on his buds. Ted has been shot dead, and Chris is fighting for his pathetic life. Pickleboy flips to a random page in the Necronomicon and begins reading the gibberish. After this, everything in the museum comes to life. Adolf Hitler is running around nude slitting throats and taking names. Pocahontas is going absolute batshit crazy. Robin Hood sets up ballistas and joins in on the mass slaughtering. The museum is absolute chaos. Walt Disney's decapitated head appears out of nowhere, contained by a capsule. He can shoot lasers out of his eyes. He is slaughtering many historical figures. He finishes off the guards and goes for Pickle Boy and Chris. They manage to escape with the Necronomicon and make their way back to Grandpa's abode. Pickle then shows Grandpa the Necronomicon. Grandpa gets disgusted and pisses on the book, then rips the whole book apart. Chris falls down on his knees and cries a river. Pickle Boy shits his pants in horror as Grandpa rips what's left of the book into tiny pieces. The pathetic Chris then prays for Sonichu to be there with him. Suddenly, Sonichu appears in the house and Chris cries with joy. He runs to Sonichu to hug him till suddenly Grandpa kills Sonichu with an AK-47. Then Chris got on his knees once again and cries like a fag. He cry and cry until the entire town of Somerville was underwater. Pickle Boy spawns some fucking plasmids from what's left of the Necronomicon and injects them into his thick arm. They allow him to breathe underwater. Chris drowns and Pickle Boy fucks his corpse underwater. There are clouds of cum floating all around Pickle Boy, as Somerville was underwater from a gay boy's tears. A cum storm hit the town. Not only the town was flooded with tears but cum as well. Porky Boy tried to eat all of the cum but it just kept raining cum. Grandpa has an idea to stop the cum clouds. Grandpa summoned a proton pack and began battling the cum clouds. Meanwhile, Pickle Boy is running around going apeshit. He trips over a random black dildo. He falls face first into a collection of trash. A giant wig goes through his head, killing him almost instantly. Grandpa has a deranged look on his face. He is trying to fight cum clouds and his son has just croaked. However, the cum clouds grow even larger. The size of the entire state of SC, almost the entire state is flooded by cum and the death toll was in the millions. It gets worse when a cumnado spawns over Grandpa and Bridget. It sucks up Bridget but nearly misses Grandpa. The cumnado is disgusted by Bridget's smelly vagina. It spits her back out, and she finds herself having a seizure. The cumnado dropped her on some pavement. She hit her head, which is the reason she's currently having a deadly seizure. Grandpa's guts can be seen in the eye of the cumnado. Barack Obama is alerted of the dangerous natural disaster that is occurring in South Carolina. As the cumnado was heading towards Grandpa, he was saved by the U.S. Army. The helicopter then left the ruined town of Somerville. Grandpa had a flash drive in his back pocket that contained pictures of mutilated bodies. It turns out Grandpa has been murdering people for years. He took joy in recording the mutilation process and sexually assaulting them on film. The soldiers were shocked. And so they tried to handcuff Grandpa but he jumped off the helicopter. Grandpa falls into the cum flood at high speed so much the impact causes all the cum to explode into space. In the end the earth is a wasteland of dried up cum.
It ain't a fucking dildo!